Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a very interesting story on the Standard newspaper. That is the Sunday Standard. And in the headlines, it reads, Ruto allies go for Uhuru era state capture. Ruto allies go for Uhuru era state capture. And down here it goes to state that the Kenya Kwanza administration are ready to revisit events preceding the announcement of William Ruto as president in last year's general election, as well as those behind the extrajudicial killings in Kenya, economic manipulations, abuse of authority which led to suffering of Kenyans as it seeks to set up a state capture commission. So this headline is going to inform the basis of our discussion today or our analysis today. And my question is Ruto's administration still willing to go after former President Uhuru Kenyatta? And why? There have been a lot of political happenings in the last 1 year revolving around the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. But if you read this, it tells you that the Ruto's allies are still willing to go for the former president. So we look at reasons why. But before we do that, I would want you to listen to a video that Kimani Ichung'wah talked about the same commission like 2 months ago. That was when the former president attended a church function in Mwingi together with Kalonzo Musyoka. Thereafter, Kimani Ichung'wah talked of forming the State Capture Commission. So I want you to listen in. Then we'll come back and discuss.
One, it is a fact our economy is not doing well. It is also a fact that our economy did not stop doing well in the last 1 year. Our problems with our economic problems go back years during his regime. That is a fact of life that Uhuru Kenyatta will never run away from. It is a fact of life that state capture, corruption, and massive looting of our economy destroyed this economy. I've heard my former president saying that there are people who are selling fear to him. Let me tell him, the last person or people to sell fear, their term in office ended last year in August. This administration has no business selling fear to anybody. By saying what is true, the truth, speaking truth to those who think nobody should ever speak truth to them. I spoke truth to Uhuru Kenyatta when I served as his chairman budget and appropriations. And I told him what he was doing for the economy wasn't good. He ended up threatening me and chasing me away. I will speak truth to Uhuru Kenyatta even today. I will tell him, Mr. President, Mr. Former President, please have no fear. Nobody is interested with you. But we're only interested in Kenyans knowing the truth. And my position on having a state capture commission on the state of our economy is a position I have taken based on information and knowledge of what has destroyed our economy. Because this economy has principally been destroyed by state capture. I would want Uhuru Kenyatta today to look Kenyans in the eye. Tell Kenyans that he did not deplete our foreign exchange reserves. I would want Uhuru Kenyatta to look Kenyans in the eye. Tell Kenyans whether he settled the over 60 billion shillings in fuel subsidies that he left in our debt books. Let Uhuru Kenyatta look Kenyans today in the eye and tell them the maize subsidy, money owed to millers, almost 4 to 8 billion shillings, he left in our debt books, is propaganda or is a lie. Because figures speak, numbers talk, and Uhuru Kenyatta cannot run away from his failures. I have stated it before, Uhuru Kenyatta was a tragedy to our country as a president and as a leader of this country. He destroyed the economy. Therefore, let him not tell us that we should not tell him or point out where the problem is. We are cleaning up your mess, Mr. Kenyatta. As we clean up your mess, please give us peace to clean up your mess. We are not interested in what you did. What we are focusing on and what we have been focusing on is forging ahead and getting sustainable solutions. That is why we are not interested in the short-term, knee-jerk, populist position that our friends in Azimio have taken. Because they know they didn't work under Kenyatta's regime. In fact, those populist things were being done to hoodwink Kenyans to vote for them. Kenyans did not buy it. It will not work now after the election. We want sound macroeconomic policies that will transform our economy and make our economy strong and prosperous.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are two issues here. One is that it could be true that the Kenya Kwanza administration are planning to form that state capture commission. But the question is, what do they want to achieve by forming that commission? Number two is that Kenya Kwanza could be feeling somehow threatened by the reemergence of the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. Because there have been a lot of political happenings in the last one or 2 months, mainly surrounding the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. If you watch keenly, Jubilee Party, which is headed by Uhuru Kenyatta, has been having a lot of political happenings here and there. They're trying to rejuvenate the party, and they're trying to make Jubilee Party be an alternative to UDA, more so in central Kenya. Like they want to remove UDA out of central Kenya. That's why they are working on their grassroots support, working on their grassroots connection, within central Kenya. So whatever is being written here could be like a message to the former president that, hey, you guy, you either play ball or we'll come for you, or we'll come for the guys who are very close to you. Because maybe they might not go for the former president, but they may go for the people who are close to him. So by writing this, or by Kimani Ichung'wah coming out openly and talking about forming the State Capture Commission, he's in a soft way sending a message to the former president that you need to go back to where you are. We don't want to see you in the political scene. We don't want to see you in central Kenya. We don't want you to be actively involved in politics. Or if you don't play ball, then we are going to come for you. So that is one reason. Two is that the Kenya Kwanza administration could be planning to form the State Capture Commission. You know, in Africa, there was a time South African government formed a State Capture Commission under the, what was it, Zondo Commission. And eventually, who they went for was the former president, Jacob Zuma. So in this case, the Kenya Kwanza administration would want to use that State Capture Commission to look for a softer way of going for the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta. But someone would ask, what do they want to achieve with all this? What is the end game in all this? Because if you look at what has been highlighted in the Standard newspaper today, they are talking of so many things. Because they are talking, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah said the government will establish a State Capture Commission in February. He said the commission will investigate last elections, state capture, economic manipulation, and extrajudicial killings immediately after Parliament resumes in February. So in this commission, they are looking at several issues. Like, let's take, for example, extrajudicial killings. So if we want to talk about extrajudicial killings, how far back is the Kenya Kwanza administration willing to go with the investigations of extrajudicial killings in Kenya? You know, extrajudicial killings, if you read the history of this country, started way back during the administration of Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru. Ruto is just 1 year into the, but still, I can bet and I can tell you, there will be so many cases. But how far back is Kenya Kwanza administration willing to go into these extrajudicial investigations? Will they be able, together with this State Capture Commission, if the report comes out, will they be able to implement will they be able to implement, or will they be willing to implement some of the suggestions that will come out of that commission? Because, you know, in Kenya, we've had so many commissions. We had the Wagala Massacre Commission, we had the Ndungu Land Report Commission, we had a Kiwimi Commission, we've had like several commissions. But up to date, there were several recommendations that came out of those commissions, and they are just collecting dust at State House. So, is the Kenya Kwanza administration first willing to implement some of the recommendations that will come out of that State Capture Commission? Because there is no need of wasting a lot of money forming a commission, wasting Kenyans' time for almost 1 or 2 or 3 months. Then when the recommendations come out, nothing happens. But two, even if we will not support, even if we are to leave the State Capture Commission, President Ruto should start by implementing some of the recommendations in the Ndungu report, Kiwimu, and all those commissions that have come up with recommendations. He should start by implementing that if he's very serious about this. So the question is, how far back are they willing to go in inquiring extrajudicial killings? Are they going to look at the 2007 violence? Are they going to look at the extrajudicial killings that happened during 2013 general elections, 2022, all those extrajudicial killings? Are they willing to look into all that? Are they willing to look at the extrajudicial killings of the youths from Central who are accused of being members of the Mungiki? So if they are willing to do that, well and good. We'll wait and see. Then secondly, they've talked about economic manipulation, and will investigate last general election. So the question would be, is this State Capture Commission only interested in looking at the happenings of the last general election? Is it only about William Ruto and his cliques, or those who are close to him? But even if we are going to look at the last general election, what if it is found that something happened to their favor? Are they willing to resign? Are they willing to go back to the ballot? Because they should also tell us the modalities. How are they going to be? How are Kenyans going to be engaged in all this? Because Azimio, when we went for during the NADCO report to present, Azimio came up with so many questions and a lot of issues that they wanted to be addressed, like opening up the servers. Are they willing to open up the servers? Are they willing to accept a forensic investigations to be done, so that we don't just look at the days preceding the announcement of the presidential winner. But can they allow us to go back all the way from procurement and all that, all to the time that the presidential winner was announced? So in all this, the Kenya Kwanza administration need to tell Kenyans what they want, or do they just want to divert our attentions from the unfulfilled promises? So that could be the third issue. The third issue could be that the Kenya Kwanza administration is feeling a lot of heat from Kenyans, and they're trying to look for a way of diverting attention, because they tried blaming the former regime, which is the President Kenyatta's regime, for the mess that we are in right now. But Kenyans are very adamant and are telling them, no, yeah, the former president might have messed, but you are in office. You need to sort out the mess. That is what you campaigned on that platform, promising Kenyans that you're going to clear all the mess. So you don't need to remind us. Kenyans already know. So they want you to clear the mess. So Kenya Kwanza, having felt that they are in a very serious fix and might not be able to fulfill some of the promises, they're looking for a way of diverting the attention of Kenyans to that commission so that they can buy time, get away of heaping all the blames to the former administration, looking at what they did not do and what they did. But the question still would be, most of the Kenya Kwanza administration members, all those who are in this Kenya Kwanza administration, were part of the former regime. What was their involvement? That is one thing that we also need to ask. But still, another question that we ask, is it about only the Kenya Kwanza administration? So to me, I think it could be those four issues. The fourth one would be there are people around President William Ruto who still feel somehow that they need to go for the former president because of the way in which they were chased out of parliamentary committees, they were chased out of Jubilee Party. So they need to like flex their muscles. One of them could be Kimani Ichung'wah. He's trying to show the former president that we are now in power and we can flex our muscles. So, ladies and gentlemen, for me, it narrows down to four issues. One is the fact that Kenya Kwanza administration feels somehow threatened by the coming back of the former president into the political scene, and they want a way in which to get him back into political slumber. Because most definitely, the former president is a threat to Kenya Kwanza administration right now in central Kenya. So they don't want him to be active in the political scene. The second one is that, yeah, they would want to find a way of getting to him, but through a commission. Then the third one is the fact that Kenya Kwanza administration is feeling a lot of heat and they are only trying to divert Kenyans' attentions because they're feeling that they might not fulfill some of the promises, so they're trying to divert Kenyans' attention from the main issues. And then the fourth one is that some of the guys who are close to the president feel like they need to flex their muscles. They need to show the former president that they're the ones who are now in power and they can do whatever. They're not happy with the way they were hounded out of Jubilee Party, out of those parliamentary committees. They're still bitter. They're still feeling that bitterness. And the only way to let go or to vent is to show the former president that they're in control of everything. So that's my take, ladies and gentlemen, for today. I would want to get your feedback. If you have anything that you can share with us, comment on the video down below so that we can engage with you. You can also reach us on our social media platforms. And for today, that's all, guys. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. From me today, it's goodbye.